Northern Maine Woods, getting ready to check in at the gate as we head out to Carr Pond for our adventure and Bigfoot hunting.
Come on down.
Come on down.
This is our registration for our camping this weekend. So we are now inside the only privately owned 3.5 million acre, is that what this is?
3.5?
3.5 million acre
Holy cow, really?
park and preserve where you can still hunt and fish and camp and do all kinds of stuff. So it's owned by the Northern Maine Woods company.
Oh, okay.
They have a small fee, $6 per day use, and then $8 a day per night use.
Rush hour in Portage. We're here for our Bigfoot hunt. We have our Bigfoot experts up in the next campsite over there. And we're really looking forward to getting out into the field and seeing what we can see or find or ascertain from this environment. So we're pretty excited about it, and we'll be really excited to bring you along. That's what I'm asking.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying this would be the time of the year that I suspect you'd be most likely to see a Sasquatch near the edge of the road. I mean, most of the time, I think that these things, if they're real biological creatures, would have to be spending 99% of their time where we spend less than 1% of ours. Well, because what are we doing right now? We're out here just driving this road, right? How many of you guys want to strike off through there?
Not me.
I would. No, I would too, but I mean, you know, that's a whole different ball game when you start going off than that, and you can't see very far. So yeah, you're going to be in that area, but you know, you want
to have a reason to be in there, though, right? Is that what you mean?
Well, even if you were hunting, you're most likely to telegraph your position. It's going to be really hard to sneak up on a critter in there.
Right.
Where if we're driving down the road, and let's say there are berries here, this is when people tend to see bears.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
In the springtime you'll see bears because they come out to the edges to eat the fresh grasses that are growing, but then there's a period of time where you don't see them because they're in the forest. I suppose, you know, rooting for tubers, worms and stuff.
Right. Oh, bears eat worms?
They eat everything.
Okay.
So they're scattered over a large area. When you get, you know, times of the year when the food sources are concentrated, it makes it easier to find animals.
Okay.
Why does brush like that get all stuff together? Is that like some of the...
They probably cut it. That's a good question because there's a lot of people that will take pictures of piles of brush and say that Sasquatch did it.
Yeah.
Maybe not right on the road.
Well,
but maybe in the middle of the
But that's
Right.
most likely something to do with a logging operation. There are certain primates like gorillas and chimps that will build ground nests, and the chimps will build arboreal nests, like giant bird nests. And so some people have thought there's a possibility. Some people have reported, like the Ohio grassman, it was this big, almost looked like a beaver hut. And I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of critters that use sticks to build things. Beavers, muskrats, birds, weaver birds. So it's possible. Fact is, it's highly probable. The problem is, there's a lot of stick structures that are caused by gravity. You know, trees fall down in the forest. People go into the forest and they log. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And I think a lot of people, you know, maybe they've seen a Bigfoot, they have a zest for it, and so they tend to identify something like, oh, that's a pile of, you know, Bigfoot did that.
So, like, wishful thinking, basically.
I've seen some stick structures that were kind of strange, but yeah, it's kind of, you know, you want to use this thing called Occam's razor, that the most reasonable explanation is most likely the correct. It might not be. Aliens could have come down here and gone over there and piled. It's possible, right? But what's the most likely scenario is that a skidder or something left it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in there. I hear you coming. I step in the woods 40 feet. You drive by, and I come back out. And look, and I'm on my way.
Mike just walked into the woods about 50 or 60 feet, and just to demonstrate that if there were animals around here that were trying to stay hidden from us, that they could walk just a short distance into the woods and be invisible to us. But yet they can see us clear as day and know that we're here and stay still if they wanted to and move slightly if they wanted to, and we would not be able to see them. We might be able to hear them, but we would be able to see them. It's almost like when you're in a house at night, turn off all the lights, you can see out perfectly clear, but nobody else can see in.
Now that's a really good example. You're absolutely right. And I mean, you see how dark it is.
Yeah.
Of course, we're out here, so our, you know, our eyeballs and stuff, our pupils are dilated to the exposure out here. You look and you can't see anything. You get in with it, you can see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is what most of Maine is covered in, especially up here where they're logging. It's super thick.
We heard 3 wood knocks as we were riding down this road. And then when we stopped and everything was still on, we heard one big smack on this road.
Just heard a whistle.
What?
Yeah, he heard it.
Wait.
Someone whistled.
What?
I don't hear very well, but I heard a whistle. Here's what's really interesting about this. Is oftentimes your guy, you said he heard 3 wood knocks.
Yes.
That's frequently reported, 3 consecutive wood knocks. And whistling is also reported.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Let's say potentially there's one of these creatures down here and we've just come in this road and gone back out.
Yeah.
They might be communicating that to somebody.
Oh.
I mean, that's very peculiar to me. I haven't heard any tree knocking before. And the whistling is exactly what the guy made on the report. I mean, I just heard a whistle. You heard it too, right? Yeah, I did.
You both heard the whistle.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We were standing here talking about the woods, and then we hear
Must have been wicked loud. That's really exciting. It really is. I mean, this is
We're listening for wood knocking and they just heard a whistle. Hey, what the heck was that? Hey.
he was right over here.
Can we go closer to the Jeep? They went like this. It was like, woo.
This would be an excellent place to stake out the chicken.
Here it is again. I'll go like this.
I don't think there's anything. What's in this direction? A road, another road.
The campground's just down that way.
Ooh, we should have my audio on.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me to hear a whistle, like I said, my hearing's pretty compromised. I didn't hear the tree knocking, but when I was standing there with him, I heard a whistle down in there that
Was interesting?
well, it's a little odd. I mean, it's doubly odd to be in conjunction with 3 consecutive wood knocks.
And then a single.
I wish
After
that-
we stopped, we heard a single.
I wish we'd gotten recordings of that. I mean, that's the real thing. If we can try to, we come back, we'll try to do some tree knocking and see if we can get a response of some sort.
Okay.
You know,
Sounds good.
that would be awesome. I don't know of anything in the woods that knocks on trees other than people.
Right.
Bears don't do it. And I mean, there are a few things that would whistle at night, but
Like.
I can't think of one
But-
right offhand.
But listen closely.
A bird,
But if
maybe?
we listen closely, do we hear any other wildlife at all right now?
No. Actually, none. No birds chirping, nothing.
There's no bugs or birds right now.
No, I mean, I saw a bat, but you're right. It's very still.
Yeah, there aren't any bugs either. You would think it's
And that whistle was like a...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was like a whistle. It wasn't like a. Did that sound like a whistle? It was clearly a
No,
whistle.
it was similar to what I just did.
Right. And there's no bugs. There were no bugs
And
at all.
It was right down in that area. And to have that whistle follow after those 3 tree knocks is very, very intriguing to me.
Yeah, you guys. There's no peeps. There's no peeps out here.
I mean, Are there any rumors about Sasquatch or theories about Sasquatch and other wildlife or bugs even not being around when they're around?
Well, you know, there is. A fact is a good portion of the reports lead me to believe this is an apex predator, because when people encounter it in the forest, oftentimes they either report feelings of being watched, or they'll say the woods were unnaturally quiet.
Right.
And I would consider this to be unnaturally quiet, would you?
Well, yes, we could be having some effect on that. But there's a thing, like if you imagine a bunch of dominoes, you know, or dropping a pebble in a pond, there's this radiation effect that takes place in the woods because other critters will get quiet, and then the critter beyond that will get quiet even if they didn't hear the noise. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That could be our fault then, you're saying?
Well, it could, but the other thing that people report, we saw a lot of sign, right?
Yep.
What?
And
We're going to drive down to the other end of the straightaway, around the corner, and they're going to walk down with the chicken and put it in the middle. And then we're going to sit on either side and do some calls and hopefully lure out whatever's in the woods.
I don't think the chicken's on board.
He looks ready. Still.
No, the chicken's like, I don't want to do this.
If something comes out and it tries to get you, run in a circle, and Bill's going to rescue you. Ah, the little chicken. I know. I know. And try to stay awake. I know you want to go to sleep, but we need you to make some noise once we stake you out.
I'm right here.
Okay.
All right, let's walk on
Have
down.
another camera?
Alright, let's drop lights.
All right, buddy. All right, I need you to make a little bit of noise when we go back. Yeah, that's what you need right there. Yep. And I'll come back for you. Don't worry. Okay. You're a good chicken. Awesome roosters, huh? Yes. Okay, I think we're ready. We're ready for Operation Chicken. I wish I had something more original to say about the operation that we're doing, but...
Is he going to get mad at you for leaving him alone?
The chicken? Yeah. He's probably going to, you know, the problem we're going to have, I think he's going to take a nap in about 10 seconds after we leave him. But he probably will make a noise. If something comes out of the woods and starts to scare him, he probably will, he'll react, I think.
I'll react. I'm gonna come huffing down this road here.
Okay, good. Yeah, we should have a person assigned for chicken rescue.
Yeah.
Operation Chicken Rescue?
So we've got our chicken staked out, our chicken of truth, which is our bait, our attractant, and we've been quiet for a period of time to give the woods time to quiet down. And now we're gonna do a predator call. Got a long stretch of road here. We're hoping some of the critters on either side of us will come out into the roadway, and you know, if Bigfoot's around, he might be lured in by the predator call or the chicken. Okay. young, right?
Yeah.
This is the same kind of hunting when I was a kid. You know, you would drive and they'd put standers out and they'd leave you out there for a couple hours and they'd come back and pick you up. You know, it's real effective because the critters are obviously moving all over the place in here. I mean, look at the scat and the tracks we found. So to take individuals and to drop them off with recording equipment, you know, I don't think I've really seen them do it like that. I mean, they usually drive around. I mean, what we just did here, very simple, just drop a person off and then, you know, drive a mile and drop another person off. I mean, think about if you had, you know, a dozen people, you'd cover you'd be covering, you know, 5-6 miles of area really quickly.
We're the three of us right now, me, Kat, Christine, and Erica. We're all doing a solo in the middle of this 3.5 million acre North Maine Woods on a hunt for Bigfoot. We're hoping that we don't find something else. There are bears and coyotes and things out here, but we've been assured that we should be fine. We're supposed to be a little bit quieter than we've been, but we've had a little excitement with some observations we've been making in the sky tonight because it's such a clear night. It's a beautiful night. Our hope is that sitting out here, 3 girls, because this is a special all-girl group, hoping maybe we can attract Bigfoot if Bigfoot is out here. We're trying. That's basically it. We will check in again in a few minutes and let you know what's going on.
So Lucy, Bill, and I are sitting on the side of the road, hoping to hear signs of something walking around and maybe catch video of a Bigfoot would be nice.
So how long have we left our crew out?
About 20 minutes, 22 minutes.
You want to drive a bit further down here and see what we got? See what we got. What we're doing right now with this predator call, this is pretty much exactly what coyote hunters do.
Oh, okay.
You know, they'll drive. They'll do exactly what we're doing. They drive, they'll do it, just except they got high-powered rifles.
Yeah.
Bears are eating the clover and berries. If Sasquatch is in the area, he'll be eating it too. Pretty much you go hunting for bear, you're hunting for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I mean, really. A fair number of bear hunters have reported seeing Sasquatch.
Really?
Yeah, usually they're sitting really quietly, or occasionally they're doing what we're doing. They're driving roads and they'll look down into a cutting or something, and they'll, because they're doing what we're doing. They're going out and they're glassing and they're observing, and they just get lucky. I say they get lucky, but they're doing everything they need to do, and then a little bit of luck helps. But I'm gonna walk down that way for a minute.
The grass just stood up. Did you hear the noises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did one of them sound like antlers rubbing on a tree?
I'm not sure what that was.
Okay.
And they're in here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually if you hear antlers rubbing on a tree, you can hear the tree moving pretty vigorously. I'm just going to walk down a couple hundred yards that way.
That sounds really curious.
You can usually get a coyote response to it.
We've been sitting here for a good, what, 20 minutes? How long?
About 15.
15 or 20, okay, about 15 minutes. And I was talking to Christine, who's right there, and it's weird. And then we heard two giant thumps behind us in this field behind us.
Yeah, real bass.
Yeah, so we don't want to get snuck up on by a bear, because there can be really super large bears out here. So we did make a little bit of noise. If it's Bigfoot, Bigfoot's smart enough to know if it wants to have anything to do with 3 chicks. I mean, we've heard enough stories about that. But if it's a bear, it'll likely go the other way. So we've been assured.
And the wind's blowing toward it too.
Yep, the wind is blowing toward it. So, and we've been camping, so it's gonna get a whiff of Maine Ghost Hunters meetup. ZeroLux Paranormal. Sorry, that's some of the realities of camping out for the weekend. So, so far we've seen 2 shooting stars, a satellite, and a weird blinky thingy in the sky. And,
Which is gone now.
we did hear some things down there, but every time we looked down there, we didn't see anything. And I don't know, I expected them to be in the road, whatever the sounds were, but...
And those 2 deep bassy.
There were these 2, I will say that.
Yeah.
That's true. Back there were these 2 bassy, I don't know if they were hums or if they were thumps like that lasted a long time or what, but whatever it was, we could feel it. We were talking in
What do you
it.
mean you could feel it? Feel it where?
Right here.
You're kidding me? In your chest?
Yeah, but it wasn't like a thing. It was
just
so
low and deep, like real
bassy, so low that we just looked at each other. And she was looking that way, and I knew it was from behind me. You could like feel a vibration. It was like
A lot of people have suggested that Bigfoot uses some type of infrasound. That's really relatively common. People reporting their chest vibrating.
But it wasn't loud. It was so low that we actually stopped and listened to it end, because it was like
But I don't know of any animals in Maine that use like an ultra low.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know that.
So we sat here in the dark,
Very quiet.
and it was very quiet. We heard the crickets, stuff like that. We had a little bit of wrestling on the opposite side of the road than what we were sitting on, but it was probably a small animal, if anything. I really didn't hear nothing behind us except for crickets.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear the wicked low humming?
No.
Like
A couple times.
No.
We just finished up our Bigfoot hunting weekend, and first I'd like to say a huge thank you to Team Tazer. For Mainers who don't know, Team Tazer is here in Maine. They're all through the United States, but there's only a small handful of them, and one of them is here. Actually, 2 members are here in Maine, and we were extremely lucky to be able to spend the weekend with these guys. We learned so much about Bigfooting and just being outside and being out in nature and recognizing the signs of wildlife, what types of wildlife, feeding grounds, where they walk, where you're likely to find them. I can't even really explain all the stuff that we learned. We learned so much. That's just like the tip of what we learned. I hope you enjoyed our Bigfoot hunting excursion, our presentation here, and we will likely be doing this again in the future. If you'd like to join us, sign up at www.meetup.com/Maine Ghost Hunters and get to know us, and then we'll invite you on a Bigfoot hunting weekend. We'll have a good time. For now, we're pretty tired. Got up really early in the morning, went to bed really late at night, had an awesome time. I guess that's it. We'll see you next time.